All right, so guys, we're going to have our final speaker, and once he's done, we're going to make a few more announcements. So again, just pretend like we're still having speeches. But again, we have actually one of our alumni from last year. Faraz! Graduated last year and decided to come back to this for our first meeting. So.
Right, well, I mean, I just had a few things to say, not necessarily only about this topic, but just about JSA in general, because I know this is your first meeting, second meeting? First meeting, okay. So first thing, I just wanted to, I mean, I'm not going to be able to kind of give this argument as eloquently as possible, but there's this idea out there that sexuality in itself is a social construct. And even the idea of prison and justice are social constructs built by different institutions to put people in order. So the idea of castrating people is kind of perpetuating the idea of rape. Whoa, hold up, before everybody jumps on me. Okay, now, the idea that criminalizing anything perpetuates it is actually a really old idea that was founded in the 70s. And the basic idea is that institutions put laws and people rebel against those laws only for institutions to grow in power and exercise their authority. That's the only reason they have these laws, so as to grow their power, so as to grow, and this is not a conscious effort by the institution or by anybody else. This is just something that happens. And so the idea of putting the ability to rape someone in the hands of an institution is very, very, very scary. Now, I just want to backtrack here. The reason it's scary is that a lot of times punishments like these are used as political tools. Like, for example, do you guys know who Julian Assange is?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Well, if you guys don't know him, he's the founder of WikiLeaks, and he's the guy who published like hundreds of thousands of papers that kind of delineated what the U.S. was doing in Iraq, their things they were covering up, just little stupid things that they were doing that were really controversial at the time. And what happened was that he was in Switzerland, and there was this woman who allegedly said he raped her. Okay? Now, he's on the run right now, and he has been in the Ecuadorian, what is it? The Ecuadorian embassy, right, in Britain for like 6 months, or 2 months, or something like that. Because the second he walks out, they're going to arrest him. They're going to give him to that woman who, to Switzerland, where he was allegedly, put on trial for rape. And then they're going to extradite him to the U.S., So the idea that if you give an institution any power in that sense is very, very dangerous. And that's something everyone should be skeptical of. Because I feel like not enough people here were being skeptical of the idea of criminalizing rape. Or criminalizing anything in that sense. Because you have to think in terms that criminalizing anything actually creates that. Like, why is there very little circumstances of women rape? Because socially that's not something we understand, we comprehend, and that's something we really haven't criminalized, socially and legally. So that's something I wanted to put out there. And another thing is that this is JSA, and a lot of times, I feel like with JSA, people come in with their own opinions, and they just want to battle it out to the death with anyone who opposes them. Now, just for the sake of JSA, I think it's a good thing to tell you guys from the beginning that come in and be able to entertain an idea without necessarily accepting it. You have to be able to come in and say, is rape, a horrible thing? I mean, of course it is, I'm not saying that, but just be skeptical of everything. Always and every time you come in, be skeptical of what the situation is. And try to take a position that's really even irrelevant sometimes. Sorry.
Alright. And that about does it for this meeting.